here at Agoura High School, hanging out with Tara Davis, track and field standout. Just finally taking some time off this summer away from the hurdling and the jumping. Just got done with cheerleading camp, looking refreshed, and wanted to have an opportunity to look back on what was an amazing freshman year. #1 nationally among all 9th graders in the long jump and the triple jump. 6th nationally among all freshmen in the 100 hurdles. Tara, obviously some amazing marks, some really high points for you at Ventura County Championships, at CIF, at state. Now that you've kind of had some time to reflect on all the great things that happened this year, how do you sum up your freshman year in terms of, did I meet all my goals? Was it all that I expected it to be? Like, what are your thoughts now that you've had some time to reflect on it?
I did not expect all of this to happen. I think I did pretty good for being a freshman. It was a really fun experience, and I hope I can do it again next year.
Like I said, you came in with such awesome credentials as a youth athlete, competing in AAU and Junior Olympics and whatnot. Obviously, you set some really impressive records before you even jumped or hurdled for the very first time for Agoura. But to be #1 in the country among every peer of yours in the long jump and the triple jump I know how much you demand of yourself and how much you expect of yourself, but is that almost like a little bit overwhelming when you put it in that perspective?
Very. I did not, like I said, I did not expect me to be like the #1 freshman in the nation and everything. So I think it's pretty good. Some
of the high points numbers wise, obviously that huge 19.9½ in the long jump at the state meet. Look at that smile after we'd been the quest for 19.7 all year, and you finally blew past that. 39.10¼ wind aided at the state prelims, 39.9½ legal in the triple jump at CIF finals, I believe. The 14.26 wind aided in the hurdles, 14.31 legal. Like I said, all those marks, if not the best freshman in the country among it. Which one of those stands out, and maybe a little background as to why? Was it the 19.9½ at state? I
think it was.
And give our readers a little bit of a background, because you and I had that dialogue for a long time about how the parents were dangling the 19.7, and it was the quest for the bathing suit, which ended up being the watch. But just the payoff to finally see that number go up on the board. Kind of take us through like how much that meant to you.
It meant a lot. I didn't really expect like that high of a number. I thought it was just gonna be like 19.7. So if it was a 19.7, I still would have been like fine with it. But having to think about, okay, I just hit a 99, and now I'm getting a $100 bathing suit, and then a watch. Like, it was just, it was amazing.
And for our readers and the people in the community that don't know, we thought, you and I both thought that you had actually even far surpassed that number the day before in prelims.
Yeah.
With a 20'4".
I'm like, whoa, what was that?
Yeah. Can you now that you've had a chance to kind of look back on that, I know you kind of said like, hey, it is what it is. Like, I got to move on. I got to come back in the finals next day. Like, regardless of what that number was the day before, all it did was get me to the finals. I still got to jump well to get on the podium. But just that whole snafu with the laser and the 11-inch, miscalibration and stuff like that. In any time in your career as an athlete, JOs, AAU, high school, whatever, have you ever like been miscredited or mismeasured with anything like that egregious?
No, I've never had any mishap with measurement. I don't know how that could happen, but I've never had that.
And especially at the state meet of all places.
Biggest meet of the year.
Exactly. Did that shake your confidence or affect your mindset at all going into the finals, or were you, knowing that you had also put up the 39.10¼ wind aided? Obviously, it seemed like you were jumping well. You were in the zone. So did the fact that measurement was taken away from you and obviously a lot of your competitors there that put up great marks that day, did that affect you in any way?
Just a little bit, but I had to get over it because it was just prelims. Like, everyone didn't really believe it because it was just like 20, 20, 20. Like, I don't think anyone can hit 20 that much, but I didn't really get upset with it. I didn't like start crying or anything, but it just happens.
And the fact that you did come back with that 19.5 the next day, and at the time you were in second place, and obviously you were feeling great. You pretty much assured yourself a spot on the podium. But then there was that whole battle between Courtney and Margot Jones going on around you. I mean, first of all, just your sense of satisfaction or validation to hit that number for yourself, to put you in a position to be on the podium, and then just kind of being a spectator and watching how they were going back and forth. What was that whole experience like, being down on the field and being part of that?
I could feel the stress between them. I was like, oh my God, their like emotions and their sadness or their happiness. It was just amazing. It was a really cool experience.
And obviously, you being a Marmani leaguer and a Ventura County girl, bidding adieu to Madison Richards, not only as a competitor, but obviously someone who seemed to be just a really good mentor, and obviously went out and competed and always wanted the best for everybody. But so I mean, obviously that's I think a lot of people will say it's tough to see her graduate, and obviously she's going to go on and hopefully do great things at SC. But a lot of those girls are coming back next year, and the really cool thing that is, I just see like this sorority, like this sisterhood of all of you down there. I mean, obviously you want to go out and you want to compete, and you want to jump well and you want to win, but it just seemed like you were building really good friendships and really good chemistry with them down there. Can you kind of expand on that a little bit?
We, at the beginning of ever since we started competing with each other, we didn't really talk that much. Like, we just kind of like did a little, oh yeah, I saw that too, or hey, did you see that? I don't know if that was good or not. But as our competition has excelled, it's like knowing that we could jump each other out and stuff. I think our friendship has, gained.
And is it? I mean, the fact that you were at Arcadia with these girls, at Mount Sac, and or at Ventura County, and then obviously at CIF and Masters and State and stuff like that. I mean, obviously, it just seemed like the more great jumpers that are around, it just seemed like it continued to push you and everybody else to a higher level. So it seems like it's a good thing to be in that atmosphere when there's so many competitive jumpers and so many people that obviously excel at their craft and really kind of push everybody to higher levels. Did you kind of feel that, especially during the postseason?
Oh yeah, I felt a lot of pressure. It's like, okay, you're gonna have to get her, but you don't have to beat her, but just get second place.
Right.
But I just there's a lot of pressure, but I liked it.
Okay. Well, obviously it suited you well.
Yeah.
And obviously. Again, the 19.5 was good for the best mark in the country by a significant margin. The 39, even the 39.5 was clear of any other freshman by 6 inches. What about the hurdling aspect? I think a lot of people probably consider you jumper first, hurdler second. But how would you assess your hurdling performance this year? Like I said, 14.26 wind dated, 14.31 legal. For the fact that you do spend so much time on your jumping, you're also running the 4x1. How would you kind of recap or assess your hurdling this past year?
Well, I think I did pretty good for my age and just for new higher level hurdle height and long distance. My coach thought I was just going to get a 15, but I showed him, so it's okay.
Okay.
But I think I did pretty good this season.
And that's definitely something that you want to keep as part of your schedule going forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Good deal. Well, we'll talk about more of that stuff later when we're back with Tara.